Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that.
Y'all don't remember the Georgia Southern game, do you?
You know, I hope there's Bigfoot. I don't think there is.
Like rat poison. All right, so
It's Division One football! It ain't intramurals!
Hello. Welcome back to the Hoppy Huddle podcast. My name's Jake. That is Ed. And today we are talking about the college football playoff. It is an all playoff show with maybe a dash of other stuff, but we are talking about the upcoming college football playoff semifinal games, or no, quarterfinal.
Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinal games.
No Stranger Things talk here.
You know, there will be no Stranger Things talk. There will be no spoilers for anything. And yes, that's what we're going to be going to. Yours truly will be at the Cotton Bowl in Arlington, Texas. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a blast. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. We got a lot this is what the whole season has led up to, if you believe ESPN.
We do, of course. We believe ESPN. We kind of got behind on a reaction show just because the holidays got ahead of us. And
oh yeah, we got to react too. Yeah, we got to talk about the other games. But
yeah, I mean, so let's do a quick reaction to the early. I mean, I don't think it was much to react to Tulane, Ole Miss, or JMU, Oregon. Those went like we thought.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly like we thought.
Alabama, Oklahoma. Any late reactions to that, or do we just need to move on?
Yeah, so Alabama, Oklahoma, I would say basically Mateer had the opportunities and didn't capitalize on them. Oklahoma had lots of opportunities. If you guys remember that game, they what is good huddlers? Oklahoma went up. You know, they had the opportunity. They turned the ball over. They beat themselves, and inconsistent offense kind of again was the death of Oklahoma. And they also allowed Alabama to score more.
A good team puts away Alabama. Oklahoma had all their chances, so Indiana doesn't do that.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, so. Reed, you're right. You always fade Jake. You made $20. Good move. No, I think that didn't surprise. I mean, listen, Oklahoma, you should have put them away at 17. You catch the pass, you don't muff the punt. It's a different ball game. So, whatever. It was entertaining. It was an entertaining game.
Yeah.
Well, we got to the game of the weekend, which we thought might be the game of the weekend, was Texas A&M, Miami.
It was the game of the weekend, I have to say. As kind of a sicko and someone who, it's probably the most exciting game with the fewest points scored that I've watched in a long time. Good morning. Yes, it is a good morning.
But, you don't have to have – I mean, we don't have to have a 38-39 battle for it to be exciting. And that game was exciting. It just – defense held up, turnovers – missed field goals, wind. I mean, it was a lot of good stuff in that game.
Yeah, a lot of wind. The wind was insane. The missed field goals. There was good defensive play all over the board. So yeah, I thought it was a good game. It showed kind of the strengths and weaknesses of the teams of Miami and A&M, and that's kind of going to lead us into what we're going to be talking about here, which is these massive quarterfinal matchups that we have to talk about.
And I think we need to start with the one that starts tonight, New Year's Eve, the one that one of the huddlers will be at. I did not get to go to that one.
I'm going to be there.
And we got to thank, first of all, Jake's going because we got to thank the Texas A&M fans for buying all the tickets thinking they're going to beat Miami.
Oh, the arrogance of the Aggies, man. That's insane.
And then realizing, we lost, flooding the market so that the prices are dropping too. I mean, I think my Costco membership costs more than these game tickets.
Yeah, it's not like if it was expensive. I like Miami. I've been down there, been to this, Miami-Dade lots of times, but I'm not going to spend, a ton of absolute boatload of money to go see that game. But when tickets are as cheap as they are, like, I'm not passing up the opportunity to go to a playoff game.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, and so that brings up, before we get to the game analysis, that brings up two problems with this game. One, A&M fans bought early and then had to sell. Two, Ohio State, and I was talking to someone at dinner last night who had friends at Ohio State, and basically Ohio State fans aren't going to this game because they think they're going to win, and they're saving their money for the semifinals and finals. So you got a real problem. And then you go to what Dan Lanning talked about. It was either yesterday or day before. Nobody's going to the game in the Orange Bowl either. I saw tickets this morning that the game is about, what, 20, you can get up in the upper deck, $29 at the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
And Dan Lanning goes, this game should be in Eugene or Lubbock. And he's right. These quarterfinals,
right. Yeah.
You can't expect these fan bases to travel 1, 2, and 3 times.
Yeah, it's traveling is expensive, and the diehard fans, you're not going to be able to do it like 3 times. It's insane.
No. And Nick, you're right. Miami has 23 years of pent-up anger, to use tonight. We'll get to Wilton Manor in a second, but the fans. I mean, if you're fans, you've already traveled maybe to Texas A&M. Are you traveling again now back 10 days later? This is they got to go to quarterfinals on the campus next year. At least get there. So you're only asking the fans to travel to neutral sites twice, at least the home teams. So, but yeah, good for you, Jake, man. I hope you enjoy it tonight. That's going to be fun. That should be a fun game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to that game. Miami, Ohio State. I've got a lot of thoughts on this. Tell me yours first.
Yeah, so I kind of made waves in the college football world, one might say, by picking Miami in my bracket originally to beat Ohio State in this game. Miami did beat A&M. And it would be pretty cowardly of me to back out of my Miami pick.
It would.
Now. So I'm going to stick with Miami. I do realize that, Ohio State this is no affront to Ohio State. They are a very good football team. And they have looked pretty much unstoppable against everybody except Indiana and, for a moment there, Texas. But the thing is under the hood, my Ohio State has elite receivers, elite quarterback play, elite defense. What have they not had, at that elite level that's been good but not great? Offensive line play. They've rushed the ball really well. Their run blocking has been really well. But against the two teams that have elite pass rushers, Indiana and Texas, they've gotten pressure. They've allowed pressure on Julian Sayin, and Julian Sayin has looked mediocre. They've scored in the teens both times against elite pass rushers. And Miami absolutely has those elite pass rushers on the line. They also have very tall and wide corners that, maybe cannot man up against these Ohio State receivers, but size-wise can at least play them better than a lot of the teams that Ohio State has played so far this year. And because this is not a faith in Mario Cristobal's ability to run a consistent offense or score consistently. This is the reason I'm sticking with this prediction is because the Ohio State has played these games in kind of a duke 'em out, smash mouth kind of game, and it's been down. Indiana won one time. They beat Texas with it. I think Miami drags them into the dirt and makes it a game 17-14, 14-10, kind of like slugfest. And I think Miami can come out on top. That's not to say that Ohio State couldn't do it. And if Ohio State can really move the ball on offense, I don't think Miami can keep up.
Well, that's an interesting analysis, Jake. And I commend you for sticking with Miami. But let me tell you why you're wrong. All right. First of all, and I've got my stats up here, and it's interesting when you compare the stats, whether it's scoring defense, points per play, you go down every different statistical category. These two teams are really mirrors in one another. First of all, pace of play, they're both among the slowest in the Power Four. But when you look at all the categories, they're very similar teams in a lot of ways. The biggest difference is Ohio State is just a little bit better than every category. And in particular, the passing defense, they're just a lot better. They are the best defense in the country, particularly passing defense. And I think that's where they're also 5th in the country in rushing defense. We'll get to the read. I'll get to the cover in a second. But honestly, when you look at it, they're both, excuse me, I'm getting over being sick. That's also part of the reason.
And me too.
So we just didn't feel like we were both sick. They're both, pace of play is going to be slow. Possessions are going to be limited. They're both very similar in that they're going to run the ball, pass it. This is not going to be 35-38. That will stun me to no end.
No.
The only way that happens is there's a lot of turnovers, something weird happens. This is going to be teens, low 20s kind of game. The difference in the game, I think, is twofold. One, Ohio State has got 4 consensus All-Americans on that defense. That is going to be a difference maker. I just don't see Miami overcoming that. I mean, they have not faced anybody. With all due respect to Texas A&M, that was an SEC team they're playing. We know those SEC teams are all smoke and mirrors at this point.
Okay, I don't know if we all know that, but
do we need to keep going? Do we need to get on this debate again?
No,
I mean, do we need to?
No, we don't need to get on this debate.
Did you see Tennessee last night? All right, never mind.
I've been get down on Tennessee all year. Don't pull the Tennessee card on me. Don't make generalizations and then pull specifics.
All right, we've got 4 consensus All-Americans on Ohio State defense. They are legit. Carson Beck is going to be seeing things in his sleep. Okay, that's going to be 1. 2, Julian Sayin is an accurate passer. Marcel Reed was not. I think if Marcel Reed was an accurate passer, that game might have been different 2 weeks ago. 3, we have to, and I think Nick brought up a minute ago, Sig just out schemed OSU. Do we really trust coaching here? Do we trust Cristobal to out coach Ohio State? I don't think so. I think Ryan Day will out coach them. So I think you're right. They haven't played Sonny Styles yet, Caleb Downs. I think that's the difference. Now, is it going to get back to reasons? I think Ohio State wins this game for those reasons. I think they're similar, but there's just enough differences there. A better passer in saying, better All-Americans in the back end. I think you're getting a pick from Carson Beck, maybe 2. There's your difference in the game. I see this being like 24-14 Ohio State. I mean, go back and look at – there's only twice this year. Go look at the number of teams that have scored. I had this up a minute ago, and I can't find it now. I scrolled up. Let me see if I can get this quickly here. Look, let me tell you the scores of the teams that have played Ohio State. The points they scored: 7-0, 9, 6-3, 16-0, 14, 10, 10, 9, 9, 13. Indiana won at 13. How is Miami going to score more than 14 points? They're not. 24-14 Ohio State. I think never the 9.5 is going to be tough, Reed. I'm not sure how strongly I feel about that, but I think there's going to be enough Carson Beck madness. 24-14 Ohio State.
All right. What is the scenario where Miami wins? Is it they win 14-10? Is that the scenario?
Yeah, I think it's 14-10, and the Miami defense forces Sand into some turnovers.
Okay.
I think that's don't you think? Or maybe there was a Malachi Tony punt return. I mean, you're going to have to.
I think Malachi Tony, it has to be the X factor because you talk about positions where Miami and Ohio State line up and Ohio State is better. Malachi Tony is one of those guys on Miami where he's just as good as anybody on Ohio State, like at that level, the top level.
But you're going to have to create – I think if you're Miami, you've got to get a Miami defensive touchdown or a Miami special teams touchdown, something to change this game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. All right, Reed's got to bounce. Jake's saying something outrageous. Well, that's every 5 minutes, Reed. I don't know what to tell you. All right. All right. So we differ on that game. Let's get to the noon game tomorrow. That's Texas Tech and Oregon, which I think will be one of the more entertaining games of the day, honestly.
Oh, maybe I can't wait. That's going to be so – I've been waiting all year to see Texas Tech play a team of Oregon's caliber, and it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see that Jacob Rodriguez and that defensive front go up against Oregon. I can't wait to see the Oregon defense go up against that Texas Tech offense, Baron Morton, those receivers. I'm very excited for this game. I have no idea who will win. I'm going to be completely honest. I have this as just a pick 'em, a toss up. I have no clue. Oregon, I don't think they're getting Evan Stewart for this game.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, but DeCorian Moore, it seems like he'll be ready to go. Maybe not full health. Yeah, Dante Moore versus that Texas Tech defense is going to be absolute cinema. Is he going to have time to throw the ball? Because so far, nobody has been able to give quarterbacks time against Texas Tech, right? That just hasn't happened in any game that they've played. So, will Dante Moore have time? I don't know. I think that's probably the answer of who wins the game. Does Dante Moore have time to throw the ball? If he does, the Texas Tech secondary, does have, you can exploit weaknesses in the Texas Tech secondary if you can get the ball off. But I'm just not sure they will. Oregon's O-line is good, but it's not as good as it was under Mario Cristobal. I still am not entirely confident as Baron Morton as a college football playoff winning quarterback. I think he's a good manager of that offense. I think he's good against lesser competition. I think all the pieces on Texas Tech offense elevate him rather than him elevating the offense.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this game. I think Tech's the 1.5 point favorite
Yeah.
in this game. If you're Oregon, you got to get this game to the fourth quarter because I think this could turn into a blowout.
Really? You think so?
And let me tell you why. I think Oregon has only played 4 top 25 defenses this year. That's Indiana, Iowa, Washington, Wisconsin. And when they did, they were held under their season numbers pretty dramatically, averaging just 21 points a game.
Yeah.
Texas Tech Texas Tech is one of the faster Power 4 schools as far as pace, and they're very balanced offensively. Oregon's got to be careful not to get run out of this building early. I think Oregon is a slower paced team, believe it or not. They're not among the more faster paced teams.
Yeah.
With the lack of weapons, I think they just got to get this game to the fourth quarter, and then I think anything can happen. But I think Texas Tech, given how strong they are defensively and given their pace of play, they could get out in this game. I mean, we could see this thing over mid-second, third quarter. I mean, it could get that.
Really? That's interesting.
I think you look at, and I don't want to use the JMU game because I don't think Oregon was showing a whole lot. But man,
know.
But Oregon, that gave me a little cause for just. I mean, JMU's okay, but I'm worried about Oregon a little.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the college football world would be shocked to learn Texas Tech is legit. I wouldn't be. I think they are legit.
We believe they're legit.
We believe they're legit. I do think one thing to watch is that Texas Tech's offense is not a down-to-down offense. They play fast-paced and they rely on explosives, right? That's their offense. Now it's effective and it scores a lot. But Oregon is really good at defending the explosive plays. They're one of the better teams in the country at that. And Texas Tech, when they get in the red zone, can kind of struggle to convert. They actually score really well on the explosives, but not so much in the red zone. So I kind of lean. I think that's something to watch. Who kind of comes out ahead in that battle, defending the explosive versus getting the explosive. If you see Texas Tech open the game and they have several explosives right out the bat, I think that could be an indicator how the game's going to go.
Texas Tech is all 12 of their wins were by more than 20 points. They're only the second team in modern college football history to do that. Clemson in 2018 was the only other team.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good Clemson team. It was one of the best Clemson teams.
And they destroyed a good Alabama team.
Yeah.
I think the world's going to get opened up today. I think Texas Tech is going to. I think they're going to win this game easily. I do. I think that probably as much as I think Oregon's got to get it to the fourth and see what happens. So
yeah. I can't honestly. I don't even remember if I picked Texas Tech or Oregon to win this the first time.
I picked Texas Tech on that.
I guess I lean Texas Tech, but I would be surprised if Oregon wins either. Dante Moore is a really good QB, and if anybody can make the quick reads against that pass rush, it's him. He's a solid quarterback, and he's a good decision maker.
Yeah.
And what if DeCorian Moore is like healthier than we think? Right? What if he?
Possible. I think there's clearly they've got talent.
Like they should. What if they didn't show him at all in the JMU game to get him healthy? Right, he ran like a couple of plays, and he comes back and he's a roaring force. Then like,
to me, the way this game stays close, I mean, I remember Texas Tech has never been on this stage. Oregon,
right.
These guys are used to being on this stage. To me, that's the difference.
Yeah.
If you're Oregon.
Yeah, certainly. All right. Next up, let's talk about
the Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. What should be the national championship game every year. For some reason, it's not. I think this is the easiest prediction of the day. This is the game I'm most confident in. And that is, I think Indiana will just soundly handle Alabama. I think Indiana is excellent in pass defense. I think they are good at scheming up pass rushers. I think Alabama can't run the ball. I think Alabama gives up explosives through the air. And I think they will have trouble covering Indiana's receivers. I think basically every way you look at this matchup, with the possible exception of the Alabama offensive line versus the Indiana defensive line, favors every other way you look at this, in my opinion, it favors Indiana. I think Cignetti and the machine keeps rolling. I think they're prepared. I think he wants to beat Alabama badly. I think he wants to show like, hey, I went out and did my own thing. You guys wouldn't give me an opportunity. I built this, and I don't think he's going to let up the gas. I think Indiana wins. I think, what's the spread?
6.5.
I think Indiana covers. I think this is. I think this should be the most clear cut of any of the games.
I think you're wrong on that. I think we'll get to the clear cut one in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Well, okay, maybe second most.
Okay, so I agree with everything you said. All the statistics would bear out. Indiana's better coached. It feels like they've got 14 players on the field. I mean, they're just everything says the whole thing. And there's no reason Alabama shouldn't be in this playoffs. We've covered that already. But I'm going to tell you what, ESPN and some black voodoo magic are going to keep this game close. I'm convinced of it. I'm just somehow Kirk Herbstreit's going to will this game into a fourth quarter tight game. Because this is Alabama, it's the golden child, and something's going to happen. There's too much when all the energy goes one direction here against SEC and Alabama, it always somehow balances back out.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look with my eyes at the evidence. And the evidence says Indiana wins handily.
All the evidence says Indiana should win this by 10 points. That's what scares me. I mean, here's the problem. Let's get down to basic football here. Alabama does two things. They don't do two things well. They can't run the ball, and they can't stop the run. Yep. If you can't do either of those, it's generally a long night. I don't care how much talent you have.
Indiana will gash them with the RPOs. Indiana is a good running team, and they use that to open up the shots across the middle of the field.
I mean, Oklahoma's problem was Oklahoma can't run the ball, but Indiana should be able to run
Indiana can run the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Jake. There's no reason why Alabama should even be in this game. But the reality is Alabama has a lot of 4 or 5 stars all over that field, and we just don't know that there are times where they can look really good. If Ryan Williams decides to put Stickum on his hands and they somehow find him, all of a sudden that makes that passing threat, now so you got another person on the field, you can make Ty Simpson look like, Bo Nix for a night. Why am I even using Bo Nix references? Bo's not even that good. You can make it look like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, when Ryan Williams is good, that passing game changes.
Yeah.
And I just don't know.
But we haven't seen that all year, though.
I understand, but all it takes is one game, one crazy game.
Yeah.
And I do believe strange things happen. And Alabama's played in these situations all the time. Indiana has not. So
they were here last year, though.
They were here last year. They beat Oregon. They went up to Oregon this year. They played in the Big Ten Championship. I know, but they're just not used to it. I'm just saying crazy things can happen, and it always seems to happen when Alabama's playing.
Maybe.
There'll be a timeout. There'll be a play reversal to go Alabama's way. I mean, something will happen. I'm just saying it would not surprise me. I'm with you. I'm picking Indiana. Okay. But don't be surprised if we're all sitting there at 7:30 tomorrow night and somehow Alabama got some call to go their way, and we don't hear it because ESPN and SEC won't let us hear the reviews. You heard it right here at first on New Year's Eve, folks.
All right. Now let's talk about the Georgia Ole Miss game. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, we've seen this game before.
Yeah.
This should be a high-scoring game, first of all.
It absolutely will be, in my opinion.
I don't see this is not going to be the Miami Ohio State game. This feels like somewhere in the 30s, don't you think? The
Yeah.
winner.
Yeah.
I don't think we're. I mean, as good as Georgia has played defensively, I feel like this is still going to be a high-scoring game. I don't know that we can really tell a lot from the Tulane Ole Miss game how much they miss Lane Kiffin. I mean, you still got Charlie Weiss, you got a number of assistants there. I worry about Georgia, protecting the run. I mean, we know that they're going to be okay. I think running defense has improved with them as the years gone on, but they
Ole
still
Miss can run the ball though. Lacey is really good.
Yeah, they give up some explosive plays. I worry more about Ole Miss's running defense, but then again, Georgia sometimes runs the ball. I mean, I don't know what to make of this. The key to me is how many possessions is Ole Miss going to get? I mean, they run a fast-paced offense. The more possessions they get, the more they can score. Are we going to get turnovers? To me, feel like this is the key. If you tell me how many turnovers, who commits more turnovers, Chambliss or Stockton? That to me could be the difference in this game.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think Chambliss is probably the more dynamic quarterback, but Stockton is more
He's steady.
He's steady. He's safe with the ball, and so I'm not sure. I think honestly, the lower scoring this game is, I give it more to Georgia. If this gets up in the high 30s and one team breaks 40, like that's Ole Miss all the way. That's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first game. I mean, well, those high scoring before in Georgia won.
I know, but that's just the way that I've seen both these teams kind of progress through the season.
And Georgia always seems to do better in the second half. I don't know if it's just their second half adjustments. I think Gunnar Stockton has played better in the second half.
Yeah.
I know Ole Miss is what, a 7-point dog in this, and that's basically, it was an 8-point game last time.
Yeah.
Hard for me to pick against Georgia here, just based on what I saw in the first game. And I think they're better now than they were in the first game. I think not having Lane as your head coach, I think does detract. To me, this feels like the one game I'm confident in Ohio State, but I'm probably second in this game. I think Georgia wins this game pretty easily. I don't see, but Ole Miss, when you're the team, when we think Miami has a chance, it's hard when you're not going to score a lot of points. I don't think Ole Miss has a chance, but when you've got an offense, anything can happen when you can score points. So I hope this is an entertaining game. I hope I'm not having to turn this off at 9:30 because it's a blowout already.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm picking Georgia. I think Georgia's a better team. I think Georgia showed they're rounding into full form with the Alabama win, and the defense has really stepped up. Kirby Smart is, still one of the best coaches in college football, if not the best. And his adjustments continue to just consistently be better than anybody he plays against. And so there's kind of like nothing here that, Ole Miss lost their Lane Kiffin, the play caller. And, we don't know how much Charlie Weiss Jr. has been involved with the play calling before this. And I'm just, I don't have anything that says pick Ole Miss here, and so I'm picking Georgia. If Ole Miss wins, I'm going to be surprised, but I'm not going to be that surprised. Georgia has shown flaws all season, so it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world if they ended up losing this game.
Yeah, the only thing less surprising was the fact that they put Ole Miss against Tulane, and then Ole Miss. That way, Ole Miss could get an easy victory, and then they'd have two SEC schools playing each other. That way, we guarantee an SEC school gets to the semifinals. Committee set that one up perfectly, so they would at least have one SEC school in the semis.
Okay,
that's my tinfoil hat theory today.
Okay.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be seeing any SEC schools. But I think Gunnar Stockton's too. This is a good job by Kirby Smart with this team this year. I think he's gotten the maximum effort and energy out of this team. They're not going to win the national championship, but I think they'll be good enough to beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, I think so. All
right.
What else do you want to? Did we talk about Kyle Whittingham?
We have not talked since Michigan hired Kyle Whittingham. Good hire.
Yeah. So Michigan Wolverines hire former very long time Utah head coach Kyle Whittingham. I've always liked Kyle Whittingham. I think he's an excellent football coach. I think he's honestly like one of the better coaches in college football right now. I think he's criminally underrated, even as with the praise that he gets. And I think he's an adult in the room for Michigan. He's a good football coach. He has a solid reputation. I think, with Michigan's resources, he'll be able to recruit and retain players. I think Michigan, similarly to Penn State, may have just, stumbled backwards, blindfolded, through a closet into a good hire. And, he plays a style of football that Michigan has learned to love, which is smash mouth, run the ball, dominate the lines of scrimmage, solid, smothering defense. And I think that plays well in Ann Arbor. That and he's a, complete upstanding guy. And he's an adult in the room. He'll get everything sorted out. And yeah, always one of the questions was with Whittingham was he's done amazing things at Utah, but what could he do if he were at a place where he could get the best players in the world, right? It's like it was like one of those unspoken. It's like what would it be like if one of the better coaches in college football was at a place that could get him the best players, and now he's there, and so we'll see. I don't think he'll be there for 15 years. I don't know how long he wants to continue coaching because he was gonna retire, I guess, at Utah. They kind of maybe pushed him out a little bit, kind of time to move on type of thing. But even if he's only there for 5-6 years, like, so he can build that program out beyond the Jim Harbaugh foundation, set it up solid, and he's shown the ability to hire good assistants and hopefully set y'all up in Ann Arbor for a good future. So
Yeah.
I'm high on Whittingham. C+, no idea if it'll work out.
Yeah, it's a good hire. It'll right the ship, clean house. It'll be good. So, and I do not have the energy to talk about the portal today. All the craziness. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it next week.
We're gonna we'll do a portal show, I'm sure, after everything. So
yeah. So all
all right.
Well, that was a quick huddle today.
Bit of a shorter show.
Yeah. Ready for the playoffs. Ready to get down to the real teams playing now.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe on all the channels. And we'll be back with another huddle at some point. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and good night or good afternoon.
Good morning. It's still morning here in the East Coast.
All right. Good morning.
All right.
Bye.